Where's my father? Nowhere to be fucking found. You know why he was nowhere to be fucking found? Because I just got a relationship with him a few months ago. Because my mom told me my dad wasn't shit to keep me away from my dad. But my dad didn't know. My dad did not. I thought my dad was a bitch ass fuck nigga. Because that's what my mom called him.
Mm-hmm.
My mom didn't know. My mom told my mom. I'm 26, bro. I'm 26. My mom kept me away from my dad for 26 years. You know what kept me away from him? My mom told me that my dad said I was a mistake and kept me away from my fucking father. Every time this nigga been looking for me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
He's been looking for me. Can you imagine all the kids out there who got a fucked up ass mom telling them their daddy ain't shit, but the daddy looking for them? I finally talked to my dad. He's a good dude. My mom told me my dad has not paid child support since I was a kid. I finally meet this nigga. He has envelopes full of fucking shit proof showing he been paying child support. He told me, he said, your mom is a lying, manipulative bitch. I have not talked to my mom in months. You know why? My mom called me. My mom's in California. My dad's in North Carolina. I moved out of LA. I can't live in North Carolina or LA because I hate those places because of the trauma I went through on both of those places. My mom calls me. What you doing, baby? What's going on? I'm at my dad's house. What the fuck you doing at that bitch ass nigga house? Didn't I say don't discuss family business? Like, my dad comes and he busts through the door. My dad is happy and married. He's a street nigga. I can't talk about what he do, but he's a street nigga. He's happy and married. My
Mm-hmm.
mom has been bitter and having sex with so many goddamn dudes of different races, and she just got married recently to a nigga she met on Tinder for 1 month. My mom didn't get married because she was in love with the nigga. She got married because she didn't want to be lonely.
Yeah.
My dad bust through the door and snatched the phone. I was trying to no. He snatched the phone. He said hello. My mom said, put my son back on the phone. And I'm like, and he's like, he starts to calm. He's like, hello? Put my son back on the phone. No, it's my son too. What do you want? Put my son back on the phone. And my dad loses it. You fucking dumbass bitch. You rapist bitch. You been molesting my child. How? Going in on my mom. And I'm listening to my mom. All that slapping, abuse, and beating me up, choking me when I'm on the floor, beating me with belts, wrapping hangers around other hangers, beating me till I pass out, then wake back up, whelps on my back, scars and shit. My mom turned into a 2-year-old little girl when my dad started talking to her. She talked to me like a bitch my entire life when I don't listen to her. But when my dad got on the phone, I saw the weakness come out. I have never saw my mom submit to a man the way she submitted to my father. While my father's wife is in the room. My father's wife is letting her do all this. And he's yelling on the phone, you mad because I left you. And I didn't want to be with you no more. And you kept my son away from me as a weapon. My mom used her kids as a weapon. She used me and my little sister as a weapon. Whenever my mom will get pissed off by my dad or my sister's dad, she would say so many times that you will never see your son again if you disrespect me, or you would never see she used me and my sister as pawns. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Us as chess pieces. I have a belief now that I'm older and realize that my mom was the devil the whole time. If you're a child of anybody, I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, you're a child of somebody. If you have one parent or no parents, I feel like it is every human being's responsibility.
All right, the video actually didn't fully download, so the rest of it just froze. So I'll let you know what he was trying to say. If you're the child of a parent that told you or is telling you, because this is for young people also, that your dad wasn't shit, your dad didn't want you, your dad left you for whatever, it's a very good possibility that it's a lie. And your mother is telling you this in order to keep him away from you, because the memory or the thought of him being around you as a kid was killing her. So she made up a lie to keep you away from him. This is the reason why a lot of women do this. One, you remind her of him. You guys may look alike or whatever. And now that he's not in the picture, the more his memory is gone because you guys aren't around each other, the more she feels better about herself. Because sometimes when your quote unquote mistake is still in your face or still coming around every week, you go right back into the triggering of your mistake. The second thing is, in a lot of cases, the uncustodial parent can easily look like the superhero versus the custodial parent. Here's an example. Say your mom is taking care of the majority of the stuff going on in your life, feeding you, clothing you, all this stuff, right? And you're just like, Ma, yeah, okay. And you're kind of like giving your mom your ass to kiss, right? But here comes her ex, which is your daddy, coming around once a week or once a month. And you're like, Daddy, I love you so much. I miss you. Daddy, 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 daddy. You jumping up and down. You're having fun or whatever. And then you come home from being around daddy. All you could do is talk about daddy. Daddy did this. Daddy did that. And then here's mom like, I wake you up every morning, take you to school. I do this. I do that. I pick you up from school. I feed you. I clothe you. I do all this other stuff. Why don't you act like that for me? And it becomes a jealousy, an envy of you adoring your dad versus you tolerating your mom. The third reason is pretty obvious. She ain't got no man. He moves on and he has a woman. He's married her and never married, her, or they together and they have a whole new family, and she starts to look at herself as a possible crappy mom or a crappy whatever, right? So now she sees her ex moving on with this great woman, and now the first thing she's going to think is the comparison or the contrast between your household with your mom versus his household with his new woman or new family, because she may have kids also, is so vast where you may actually want to go live with your dad and make this woman that he's with or his new wife your new mom. And this is possibly a single mom's worst nightmare, because there are a lot of women out here who feel like the only reason why I'm living is my kid. My kid is my world. But if you get to the point where you're just like, okay, I don't like your world. I want to go live with daddy. I have more of this. I have more of that. Like, his wife is better than you, smarter than you, nicer than you, more loving than you. I want to live with them. And now mom's alone. Not only did her man leave, her child left. And this is the number one thing, in my opinion, that goes on in a single mother's life. But regardless of what it is or what it could be, this may be happening to you either as a grown person and it happened to you and you still to this day think your dad wasn't shit, or you're a child and you're watching my video and you're like, wow, what if my dad actually was looking for me and wanted to be in my life like him, but I don't know. We all have the internet. Do your due diligence, regardless of what your age is, and find out the truth, because there's a high possibility that your mom was lying to you. And secondly, the part that actually didn't download is the fact that after this, we talked about getting therapy, right? And he actually talked about how he went to a therapist, but it didn't work. Well, just understand this. For those of you who either haven't been to therapy or they went to therapy and you felt like it didn't work for you, therapists are human beings, okay? Which means some people suck Or some people just aren't for you. Some people don't understand your background, like the way you were raised, right? You grew up in the hood and you're in front of a therapist that was raised in the suburbs, they might not be able to relate. So that does not mean therapy does not work. That means the therapist did not work. So what I asked him to do was to go give another therapist a chance. Somebody sticks a husband in front of you. Is the marriage going to work out just because he's a good guy? No, because he may not be for you. The same thing goes with a therapist. So focus on learning more about yourself and learning more about what you need from a therapist, but do not give up on therapy. Some of you know you need therapy, but for whatever reason, you refuse to go. I actually have a coaching group, but I am not a therapist. I am a coach. If you need therapy, if you're suffering from depression or you're going through some things that he's going through, like I am not coaching him because he needs an actual therapist because of the severity of his trauma. I can be his friend and support him, but I am not coaching him. So some people I literally do not coach because there's certain things that they've been through that is a little too severe for me as a coach. But with all that being said, I do coach women and I do coach men. So if you have been through some things that are not as severe as him, but similar, childhood trauma, hit me up in a DM or go to the link in my bio and schedule a one-on-one. And I also have a coaching group that I offer to women only. So the one-on-ones are for men and women, but I have a coaching group that is actually for women only, where we actually talk about childhood trauma. Like I said, I'm not a therapist, but I actually coach you from a man's perspective and show you what's actually going on in your life. And the coaching group is a community of women who have been through similar issues, and they all are working together to let go and to change the perception of what happened to them, because that is the key. You're never going to just totally be healed and just be walking around a perfect person. The key is to change the perception of what happened to you. And that is part of what me and him did in the part of the video that didn't download. I helped him change the perception of what happened to him. And then we got back on live again, which is the video next to this one. And you will easily be able to see how calm he is, because the way he's seen his young life became a little less scary, a little less traumatizing by simply him changing the perception of what happened to him. So look at this video again, and then look at the video of him next to this video. It was all in the same night, and you'll be able to see the difference between him being traumatized and him changing the perception of his trauma after we talked. And pay attention to how calm he is. That is not because of me. That was because of him. But I did help guide him in a direction that changed the way he's seen himself, changed the way he's seen women, changed the way he's seen men, changed the way he's seen parenting, changed the way he's seen fathering. And it actually worked. If you want to be where he is actually going, which is the direction of healing, 1, get a therapist. But 2, if you don't want to go to therapy and you don't want to talk to somebody that you've never seen before and may not be able to relate with you, receive coaching, not therapy, from me. Send me a DM. We'll go to the link in my bio, schedule a one-on-one, and let's get to it. And that's for men and women.